We were on information, and may we have roll call, sorry. Roll call,
Orlando Navarro, Erasmo Villarreal,
Roberto Rodriguez.
Minnie-Dora Haynes. We have a quorum. It's 6:22. Thank you.
I will go back to the agenda. We do have the first action item agenda, Ms. Haynes.
Okay.
We do want to table the item at this time. We're pending some information from the contractor. Mr. Cavazos is here. We can answer any questions regarding this. And just to give you a brief review as to what this is about, as you recall at Finley Elementary, we have an ADA hardware replacement, and it has been completed 100%. There is within the bid that was awarded a $15,000 contingency allowance. It's actually $10,000 allowance and $5,000 betterment. So I'll let Mr. Cavazos report on this item.
So with the $15,000, looking at it as one allowance, we asked the contractor to give us a proposal to address some of the other issues there on the campus. One being that in the cafeteria, the doors that swing from the cafeteria into the hallway are push-pull. There's no way to lock those doors down. So in the case of an emergency, there's kind of a safety issue there. So when we bid the project out, we had asked them to include that as sort of like an alternate item. If there was money left over, we could look at addressing those items. The project went smoothly, so there were no contingency items taken out of the contingency. So we asked for a proposal from the contractor, and we have received that, but we're still looking at the price and possibly looking at getting them to adjust their price at this point.
As you can see on the screen, we have a layout of Finley Elementary cafetorium and gymnasium. The doors labeled 156, 157, and 156.1. Those are 3 sets of double doors. They actually open into the main corridor. At this time, those doors, and ever since the school was built, they don't really have a locking mechanism. So it's since mainly this project involved replacement of existing. It was not included.
By next meeting, you should have.
By next meeting, we should have a detail. We did receive a cost, but we were questioning some of the items that really were not.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we postpone this time certain.
I do have a question. By when does this need to be installed?
Well, I mean, ideally, we would like to install it before school starts, August 24th, but at this point, by the time the equipment is ordered, the hardware is ordered, and there's not enough time to get it done before school starts anyway. It's something that would probably have to get done during the school year if it is considered for approval at a later time. After school hours, it can be done.
Is this something that we would need a special call meeting to get this done before the school, or?
It would be great if it could be done through a special call meeting. That way we can.
And when are you anticipating getting the?
Mr. Cavazos, by when?
The revised cost breakdown,
Mm-hmm.
I would hope it's already arrived in my email inbox, but probably by tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll probably need a few days to just review it, the cost breakdown.
And
ensure-
have the costs they come in over the 15,000 so far, or?
No, it was below.
Uh-huh.
But when we asked for a breakdown, and according to RS means, which is basically the RS means dictates what the maximum amount you can charge for this type of project. The proposal that they sent was lower than the 15,000, but we asked for a breakdown to justify what was in that 14,000 and change. There were some things that I asked them to show justification for in their RS means breakdown. At this time, I just have some questions about some of their line items.
Okay, I was just trying to think it through as to what we could do, to be able to get this going, since it was under the budget amount, but no.
It would not exceed the 14,400 and 14,970. It'll definitely be at that price or lower. We're just trying to get them to revise and see how much lower that possibly that price is going to be.
One of the items, Ms. Haynes, that was really questionable was on the original proposal, they included 6 pairs of doors instead of 3 sets of doors. So Mr. Cavazos, through his review, he did his due diligence, and when he identified that, he notified us. So that's when he requested a breakdown.
Yes.
Reasonably, it's expected that since they were proposing double the number of hardware, the price should be lower. But when they resubmitted a second time, the price stayed almost the same. So that's why one of the things that Mr. Casas really, and we don't feel comfortable in approving it, because if you go from 12, well, they had 12 devices at one time, they went down to 6, which is really what we needed. The price, we would expect it should be reduced. So we don't have that second breakdown.
Not at this time.
Hopefully, once we receive it, we'll review it, and we can bring it either a special meeting or.
Mr. Navarro?
Let me ask
No,
a question to you.
Go ahead.
Memo stated that it shouldn't exceed, it was gonna be under the 14,100, right?
Correct.
Can we make a motion to approve whatever comes in not to exceed 14,100? That way we don't have to have a special call meeting.
We could approve that,
Okay.
but I do know administration preferred to look over the numbers
I
more
mean,
thoroughly, but it's
we-
an option.
We trust what you guys are trying to do, and all we're doing here is, instead of having to wait to have another meeting called, we can give you that authorization now up to. And I'll make that
So
motion.
basically, the motion would be to approve the project as discussed, contingent upon the monetary amount not being above.
$14,970.
But I don't think there's a problem to call for a special meeting, do you think?
Well, that's what I'm saying, let's approve the item now, up to, I mean, they're probably gonna come in under that anyway. And it's not gonna be a need, I mean, if he's got it tomorrow, they can start moving on this thing, as opposed to us having to meet again next Monday.
But we're getting recommendations from both staff and consultant to postpone this? Is that what the recommendation is? 'Cause that's my motion currently.
Yeah.
Without a second.
Right.
I mean, we would, like I discussed with Mr. Trotman, we would prefer to receive the final numbers, review it, and then have an actual fixed number that we feel comfortable, that Mr. Casas also recommends, to ensure that it's within the IRS means.
I don't want to imply
Bring
that I
it.
don't trust,
Right.
he's all faith in the world. I'm just, trying to stick to procedure, I guess you'd
Yeah.
say. That's all I'm saying.
So currently, we have a motion on the floor by Mr. Navarro to table the item. So we need a second and then to move forward.
And we can have our meeting at Border.
As easy as that.
I have a question. Is that what you would is that what you want? To table the item?
Yes, Mr. Guerrero, we
Second.
would prefer.
Okay,
Table.
we have a motion and a second to table the item. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, motion carries.
Thank you.
You're opposed to it.
We are back on 3B, current bond project status report.
Okay, again, as we were discussing, the Veterans Memorial is basically ready for opening. We are at this time just moving in furniture and equipment. Delivery started today. The school is fully functional, air conditioning is 100%. The alarm systems are all certified, the fire sprinkler. We did receive, August the 5th, as planned, a certificate of occupancy from the city of Laredo. Fire department certified and approved its opening. All systems they tested everything and it passed as per city requirements. The only item that is pending is the landscaping and irrigation. You see some of the photos there of the classrooms, main entrance driveways, restrooms for boys and girls, the playground units. As you notice on this photo, you see some of the exterior areas, the landscaping is in progress. They really took a very big hit on the schedule as far as the exterior because of all the bad weather over the past few months. But they are committed to finishing landscaping by the end of the month. With some photos of the interior corridors, the kitchen, serving areas. That picture on the bottom is the central courtyard. That's another view of the courtyard on the top. The circulation desk in the library. There's a typical classroom on the bottom photo. By the end of the week, it will have all the student desks, teachers, furniture. They're delivering also the interactive flat panels and that are being currently installed. So it's in very good shape. Teachers will be moving in Monday. They report on the 17th. But many of them are already going to the schools, eager to get their classrooms started and arranged. So but we're moving in the furniture, unfortunately, this time.
Just a quick question, this prototype, how many do we have now, counting this one? Because this is the
27.
of this style.
Oh, this style, I believe we have 7, and this is number 8. Going back to like Centeno Elementary, Fasken Elementary, Bonnie Garcia. Yes. We will be having tomorrow at 10 in the morning, you're all invited, a tour of the campus. We invited all the media. It's going to be kind of hectic because we are assembling furniture on the main corridors, but we're taking them and showing them the school at 10 o'clock in the morning. If you can join us.
So we will be having a separate dedication
Yes.
sometime in September, and we'll keep you posted.
Next project, we have elementary school number 28 on Highway 359. That one's barely started. As you can see, there's 8% progress on the campus, basically all the site work. They are getting ready to start foundation work, prep work this week. The building pad is ready. There's a photo there of just materials. Structural steel, roofing, brick veneer, ready for construction. And again, that school is not scheduled to open until August of 2017. However, the contractor has requested from the administration our authorization to move it up, possibly to open August 2016. So it's a possibility, but
Well, that's where I was gonna ask a question. The last project, Veterans Memorial Elementary, how many days did it take them I mean, I know there's time extensions.
we started in July of 2014, right, pretty much at 12 months. But it was a very unusual year, as you know. I mean, we lost about 2.5 months of just rain delays.
Correct.
Right.
So he could potentially have this done by the fall.
It may be possible, and we did anticipate that, as Ms. Benavides will cover that, but on the funding, the bond sale. But originally, they're under contract. Their date is March of 2017 to complete it, and then we'll open it the fall. But for the district, it would be ideal if it can be moved up. We do need that campus. We have a lot of students on portable buildings at Zaffarini Elementary, Bonnie Garcia.
This is the one that's going on E.G. Ranch Road, right?
That is correct, yes. Next project, middle school number 10. Again, that project is barely starting. 3% completion, mainly site work is in progress at this time. It has the same completion date as the elementary of 2017. Now this one probably will have to open August 2017. Middle school is much larger in size and complexity. But again, there's some photo there of just clearing and earthwork. Any questions? Next project is the 9th grade at United South High School 9th grade campus. That has moved very swiftly at 18%. We have made a lot of progress. As you can see, the architect's report from Mr. Rodnowski. Walls are under construction. We do have electrical and steel and hollow metal frames in progress. throughout the areas, and foundation rebar in area F, which is the gymnasium. You see some photos there of the progress, and if you drive through the loop, you'll be able to see it on the west side of the boulevard, or the Cuatro Vientos Road. Some of the views of section D, the classrooms, two-story section. Again, section C is again classrooms and some of the open area under construction. The area that you see it right there, that's a corridor that will be on for the second level. Again, hollow metal frames and metal steel structural construction. On section F, we have, and there's a map there showing you what all of the areas, the legend. We do have the very large section there with foundation, plumbing in place for the showers, dressing rooms, and gymnasium. It is on schedule. They did get delayed a little bit by rain, by bad weather, but they've caught up already. So if you recall at United South, when we had major rainfall and they had to redo all the foundation prep work, they lost about 30 days. But they've been making progress on getting up to schedule. The last project we have is a United Ninth Grade North. That one, you recall, started a little bit later, about 3 months after United South Ninth Grade. But they are almost catching up. We have a 14%. This one was scheduled from the beginning when we awarded it, since it didn't start at the same time as United South. This is scheduled for December completion, 2016. So, and since we already have a ninth grade campus, it can open at mid-year. It would not be any problem. Again, just same type of work as you see on the photos, structural, a lot of masonry wall going up throughout the building, and second floor structures also in section C. Section E, it's again classrooms. Any questions on the progress reports? Next item.
Next, the bond program financial report, Mrs. Benavides.
Good evening, members of the bond committee, members of the audience. We're bringing to you our bond report, our bond finance report as of July 25th. The only major changes you'll see there, if you actually compare last month's to this month's, is in the new schools under the high schools, under the ninth grade campuses. I think we coded a big expenditure to just one of the ninth grades, and then we came back and reallocated it. So you'll just see some minor changes there, but the total amount stayed the same. We did issue about 3 purchase orders within the past month. One was actually we made a check to the city planning department under the Highway 359 middle school, not Middle East, located in the east, okay? And so that one you saw is in progress. We issued out over $47,000 for some fees, right?
Water availabilities,
Yes.
planning fees.
Planning fees.
Correct.
Planning fees, exactly. The other place that we issued some purchase orders were for Veterans Memorial Elementary, totaling over maybe $104,000. It had to do with technology. I talked with our director of technology, and he said that it was for the security system that allows the, I guess, like the Raptor system.
Access control?
Yes. So that was issued this past month. And then towards the bottom, the campus renovations, you'll see that there was some movement there in dollars. We issued about $183,000 for the design fees for the United South High School renovation project. But Mr. Rangel was letting me know that really that's just the design part, the actual, any renovations will start next summer. So we just are always trying to keep an eye on, the cash outlay. And speaking of cash outlay, it's really like cash inlay. We did the very, very last page of the report. We brought you some information. We did issue $100 million of bonds in July. Actually, our FAs got on the phone on July 21st with the underwriters, and this is a group of people that go out to the market and try to sell our bonds. What I understood that our underwriters were very aggressive, and the market at that time had an appetite for our type of bonds, meaning they were our bonds are very safeguarded or very credible because they have the additional credit rating of the Permanent School Fund of Texas, and that's a AAA rating. And so that really helps our credit rating. Those underlying ratings, those are truly our own ratings based on our own financials, our own financial strength. Those have been our ratings probably for the past 3 years that we've been doing refundings. We're very pleased with that because with the conversations we have with our rating agencies, all these individuals from Moody's and Standards & Poor's and Fitch, they always ask, well, what's going on in the Laredo economy? They're aware of the Eagle Ford, and the oil and gas coming down. We did tell them that, we always budget conservatively. In fact, we told them that initially this phase of the bond, we were going to issue $125 million and looking and getting with construction people, getting with RFAs. We went ahead and just issued $100 million. And so we did so on July 21st. Actually, tomorrow the cash shows up in our bank accounts, $100 million even. And there you'll see that we actually have to make an interest payment this coming week on August 15th to actually qualify this debt. If the state's going to help us with any assistance in the future, we've done our payment for this debt before August 31st, 2015. And so that's just we did get a 3.898% true interest rate cost, which still it's very good. I've just heard that, or I've read that the feds might raise rates. Hopefully they don't overdo it, but we'll see what happens next summer. We'll be with Enrique and his staff, seeing what our cash flow needs are going to be. But if you look at the bottom line, so far we've just encumbered and expended about $120 million. And we still need to issue out the GMP for the the LBJ 9th grade and the Alexander, which will be the next two biggest projects. They'll probably be about $35 million each. So that's the other $70 million that we want to make sure we have the cash on hand for. So I don't know if anybody has any questions. We were very pleased that our underwriters were able to do a really good job for us in selling $100 million in debt. Oh, and on top of that, the best news is that once we got our certified values from the Webb County Appraisal District, it actually turned out that we may just have to raise our rate, or we're proposing tomorrow night that we just raise our interest and sinking fund rate, which is a rate that you use to pay back this debt, that we are only going to have to issue a penny. And usually, I think when we looked at our schedule that we proposed to the citizens, that we would be probably at about 4 cents by now. And right now, that's only going to be about, I guess, 3 cents. We're about a penny, 2 pennies below what we projected. So everything's falling in place. Of course, we still have a whole year to go, and who knows what the values will be next year with the oil and gas not really coming back as, the price of gas or price of oil just not rebounding. So all that will affect us, but that's why we will study our cash flow needs very carefully next summer. So I don't know if anybody has any specific questions. No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Under open agenda, is there anything anybody would like to bring forth? Okay, I have what y'all are going to consider a stupid question. When did we go from cuatro vientos to 4 winds?
Oh, you mean just terminology?
Yeah, actually, what happened is the name of the subdivision is Cuatro Vientos, but the developer or the actual legal documents do say 4 winds. That is the official legal name of the subdivision and
Everybody says, where's
plat.
that?
And plat, right.
Okay, just curious. Thank you. Okay, set the date for the next committee meeting. September the 7th is Labor Day. I don't know.
We're going to have to turn back
Yeah.
on this item.
Yeah.
So and that's,
When do you think, Enrique, we can get that item done.
Well, hopefully, like Mr. Cavazos mentioned, we should get it this week, if not tomorrow or Wednesday, then we can review it. Probably for next week, we could present it. If not, we'll wait for the following week whenever you all can meet. Have a, we really don't have any other items.
You want to review the items, and when they're ready to go, maybe SADC can
We'll
send you
notify.
other committee members to
Yeah,
see
just
if
so you,
this might work.
can notify.
But we're also just doing a recommendation to the board, right?
Correct.
So we still, you have to be in line with the board meeting.
This doesn't even. go to
Actually,
the
it
board.
doesn't, yes, that is correct. It doesn't require board approval.
Okay.
Because it's really a use of contingency allowance that was already approved by the board within the contract amount.
Okay.
It's mainly for, we do have it on the agenda for the business committee, right, Cordy, for tomorrow as an
Yes.
informational, but we're just gonna table it also.
Okay.
So do you just want to do that, SADC, I can send out an email to the committee, and we can go from there. That work for everyone?
Did anybody sign up for public comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Then bring no further business. This meeting's adjourned at 6:46.